going on, YouTube? It's your boy AphroditesCrush back here once again with everybody. And in this video, I'm just going to go ahead and review Madden 25. Now, I know what you're saying. Dude, it's just like every other year. Minimal improvements. Graphically a little bit better. Why would I want to drop $60 on this crap? And you're right. A graphical edge over last year's. Gameplay-wise, they've improved the running game, which unfortunately offsets the defense and tweaks with everything. So, but I'm gonna cover all that in this video, from top to bottom, left to right, everything in this game, good and bad. First off, just talk about the interface of the menus. The menu system is pretty well done this year, streamlined. When you go from piece to piece on the menus, it's really fluid, really easy to use. Excuse me. And going from mode to mode is also very easy to do. The only bad thing about that is it really moves very slow. And it almost makes it feel like there's stuff running in the background, and it's just a pain in the neck. It really does feel like a pain in the neck. And I was just going through and doing some really simple things. I mean, it wasn't like I was doing a download in the background or anything like that. It was just that pissed me off, you know? Sorry about that. And I want to be able to just pick up and play. It's football. And it really was easy to pick up and kind of mull around the menus. But it's just, it moves so slow at some points. The unfortunate thing about it is when you're going from menu to menu, before you can switch to the next menu, the menu that you're on has to load. And that, unfortunately, I'm not really a big fan of that. It probably would have been better if they would have put in like a quick menu to pop up and go here. Quick menu, go here, just like in past years. But unfortunately, that's just one of the bad things about the game. It does kind of drag it back a little bit. I didn't do a lot of online play. I really didn't actually play an actual game online. But I will say going through and getting Madden packs and for the Ultimate Team easier than last year worked a little bit better for me. It just popped it and it, boom, done. It also actually getting the packs a lot easier this year as well. Normally, any type of in-game purchase has to be handled by the PlayStation Store, and boom, you're out. This one, a little bit better. So, there's that. Now on to the gameplay. Offensively, there's never been a better year. Hands down. I was running mostly balanced offenses. Didn't really do like the read option, but I got to use the new run free system quite a bit, and I gotta say it's really offensively the best Madden game I've ever played. Truth be told. I mean, from the blocking assignments to the actual running game itself, and even spilling over into the passing game, really good. I had to kind of gather my legs in it a little bit, but once I did, it was very simplistic, very easy to use. Unfortunately, that also takes away a little bit from the defensive. The defense is kind of slow, sluggish. Unless you're running specific blitz plays and certain zone plays, you really can't do much at all. You're able to kind of contain it a little bit, and if you're really hankering down on a specific blitz style, you can get a 3 and out. But a lot of times, I mean, the run game just blows you out. Sitting there, and also that chunk and dump offense that like the Patriots use kills you every time. 15, 20 yards every single play. And every single time they do like a special running play, you just, boom, 15 yards, boom, 11 yards, boom, 12 yards. It got really annoying really quick, unfortunately. And I even ran a test. I do this every year on every single Madden game that I play. I actually bump the difficulty down to rookie, which means all of my offensive stats are jacked up. Okay? And then I went down to the CPU capabilities, bumped it under 40 for everything. Dumped it down. And saw how the defenses and the offenses reacted. And that, unfortunately, was still a little uneven. It's nice to be given a challenge, but good luck playing on All Madden or Pro. All Madden has got to be hell. It really does. Because I'm sitting there, I did like 5 straight games on the super, what I call it super easy, and the defenses are catching up to my passes and catching my runner behind the line, especially if I'm doing pitch plays. I was like, oh man. I mean, inside running plays, fantastic. The cuts are pretty, but unless you're running certain plays, you could sit there all day and do 3 plays in one game and just not miss a beat. But other plays, you're done. You're just hit. Don't even think about running 75% of the plays in the game. I mean, it's a good idea to be able to really customize your offenses and seriously customize your defenses. It did seem like almost every single team had the same mindset, though, and you couldn't really change up a lot. It was killer. And I was running multiple D, and I also downloaded the top 25 playbooks from Prima for the offense. Multiple D defense. And I mean, I was still winning, but even on rookie and super easy difficulty, it was still just, it's nice to have a challenge. I'll say that. Now, graphically, once again, the best Madden you'll ever play. Hands down. Everything from the mannerisms of the players to the actual plays itself, they move so well. Not all, but a lot of the character models that you saw in last year's game, like they get hit and the knee and the leg would go in a really wonky position, a lot of that's been kind of metered down. You still see it every once in a while, but the players really act like there's somebody under them if they fall, and they fall this way or that way. Some movements were more deliberate than others, but that's really splitting hairs. Running on the field as a player's running, like say they're running down the sideline, running the ball, you actually see the step in the grass, and you see the grass go up, and then you actually see even better than previous years a deterioration of the field. So graphically, it's fantastic. Only bad thing, of course, it seemed like the crowd got worse this year, unfortunately. But I mean, that's once again splitting hairs. Graphically, just marvel. I cannot wait to see what the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are going to come up with. That way, when we get the EA Sports Ignite engine, and we're just going to have our jaws drop. So, excuse me. Now, overall inside the game, there are some things that will annoy you. Mainly being these specific offensive and defensive plays that you can run all day and never lose with. So that is the biggest problem that I really have with this year's iteration, and it really prevents it from getting the best score I can put out. Now, one thing that I really love this year and I think it's undervalued. And EA undervalued it last year when they took it out, is the owner mode. Now, when everyone thinks owner mode, you're thinking full 100% customization, you do whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. It's not really that way, and I didn't think I'd like it at first, but I ended up enjoying it. And here's why. Number one, you started off with, whatever. Nope. I started off with the Chargers. And from the first preseason game, right before the first preseason game, you had the option to relocate. That was the one thing I was going to do. It didn't matter who I picked. I just, decided, oh, look, Chargers, you're moving. And I moved them to Columbus. Now, the places where you move them to, they give you a list to choose from. That you can't just choose a spot and then here's where you're going to. The proposal process, a little bit more involved, not a lot, but a little bit more involved. The actual integration of like the Twitter feeds and all that, and everything that's going on with your team outside of your games really do play a part in your incoming funds. Me, I don't like the salary cap, so I play without it. But the funds that you have on hand, boom, you're limited by that, which is another very good thing. You have, I believe it's 3 different choices. It's like a businessman, former player, and I think former coach or something along those lines. But I started off as a businessman. The actual moving process itself, going through the season, not choosing everything at once, but each week choosing a different portion of your team, from the colors to how the actual logo and the everything of the team, the look, this, that, the other, the stadium. And having different fan interactions with that really worked in his favor. So the general structure is something that is sound as I've ever seen it, and something I did not expect to like. Now, going through, you're signing A, B, C, D, this person here, and it really affects the funds that you have on hand, because even though your standard contract is going to come out of a different fund, your bonuses that you're doling out comes out of your general fund, which you get up at the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And you really have the opportunity to take a look, and it goes up and down per week. Fantastic. There is a dabble of realism in this year's owner mode with a connected franchise that is just unmatched in any previous iteration of Madden. I could, in earlier versions, sit there and run a franchise into the ground until I won a Super Bowl. In this version of the game, you can't really do that. You have to learn how to correctly meter out your funds and work to build and grow your team in a way that you've never had to before. And that is quite possibly the greatest strength of this year's game. The type of replayability year over year, and maybe restarting as just a quarterback, or doing this and this and this, it just really builds and builds and adds to the value of the game in the long run. You will get your $60 worth playing this game. You honestly will. That's pretty much the gist of this year's Madden NFL 25. I am very interested to see what's going to happen with the Xbox One and PS4 versions when they release later on this year. And I've got the PS3 version right now. I'll more than likely be taking part in the $10 upgrade program for this, because it's honestly worth another look on the PlayStation 4. So, final score. Everything included. I've really been thinking about this and kind of metering everything together in my head, because I've pretty much been done for about the past day. I was going to put up a review on it last night, but I wanted more time to think, to kind of build my final score. everything that's in this game makes the sport of professional football a joy to play. Had it not been for a couple of flubs here and there, I mean, the menus and certain plays in offense and defense being basically impotent in the game, it would have been a perfect score. But out of 10, I honestly have to give Madden NFL 25 a solid 9. 9 out of 10. Everything that they have done in this year's version to really make it a part of the experience and being able to customize but keeping a realistic tone to your customization options is really what makes this year's iteration stand out above most, if not all. I have not had this much fun playing a football game, honestly, since NFL 2K5. And that is saying a lot, because that is the standard bearer for almost every single football game since. Honestly, if you can pick this up, pick this up. You will not be disappointed, and if you are honestly disappointed with this, then maybe you should kind of redux your view of what a football game is supposed to be about. I honestly enjoyed playing this game top to bottom and will continue to enjoy this game in the future. But that's just my view. I want to know yours. Look straight down. See that? See that nice little blank box? It says comment? Use it. See that like, dislike little button down there? Use it. Tell me what you think. Hit me with some video responses. Tell me everything that you want to tell me about Madden. So, is it worth it to you? Certainly was to me. But I want to thank everybody for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.